Hey everyone, it's Bobby,
Cedric.
and we are Aging Grateful. And today's video, we are giving you an update to a previous video that we put out regarding our unbudget process.
Yes.
Now, what we want you to do is stick around to the end so you can hear the most important
Disadvantage.
thing that we think, the most important disadvantage that we had to doing this unbudget budget. Okay, everyone, for our subscribers, welcome back to our channel, and for those of you who are new, welcome as well. We are Aging Grateful, where we actually have left the United States and we have moved to Mexico, and our channel is all about our experience about moving abroad and to help you to move abroad as well. Also, we are talking about the pre-retirement aspect of our journey, as well as we are preparing for retirement, so pre-retirement planning, and all of our little shenanigans that are going on as far as gratefully aging, being 50 and over, and what that looks like. Right?
That's about it.
All right, so let's get into today's video. We were in a previous video, which we will link below, we talked about doing something called unbudgeting.
Right. And that's basically where you take all your expenses and you basically pay all of your things, all your necessities, you fund whatever your priorities are, and then the rest of the money goes into one big pot that you can kind of spend how you want to spend it.
Now that includes such things as food items as well, like your groceries, and any fun or essentials or extras that you would like. And so we were excited. We were gung-ho because we actually saw a video that was explaining something like this from Pinky Girl Travels the World, or Picky.
Picky Girl.
Picky Girl. Pinky Girl Travels the World. And we were really enamored with how that process looks. So we thought, as a married couple, if we could try this and see how it would work for us, because it seemed like it was a really doable thing.
Yeah.
So initially, you want to explain what we broke down with regards to necessities?
Necessities was, of course, our rent and utilities and things like that. And then we funded, travel? So so we had a travel bucket, so to speak, and we funded that. Oh, and then we did our savings. We had a savings, a bucket. And a part of our investments was a part of that, the necessities, right? So we did all of our living expenses, all our savings. We did our investments, and I think that was it. And travel.
Right, and then the rest of that money was for us to be able to live off of how we saw fit and not have to worry about nickel and diming each, or to putting them into different categories.
Right.
Each month we just was pulling from this bucket that we have left over.
Yeah.
However,
let me say, the first month it went pretty good. I mean, it was, we had everything going, and it was working just like it was designed to work, I guess. Because one of the concerns we had when we saw it was, being married, it may be a little bit more challenging because you got two people and you got to communicate this. Whereas you're single, you don't have anybody to account for it. So once I fund my stuff and I got this pot of money, I'm single. I just spend it how I want to spend it. I don't have to answer to anybody.
And we knew that this premise was going to be existing as far as the communication aspect of it, because we even stated that in our video.
Right. That
only way that this is going to work if there is communication that happens along the way. However, what we found is that there's a little bit more communication that is needs to happen.
There's a lot more communication.
A lot more
A lot more communication.
that needs to happen opposed to the way we were doing our budget before.
Right.
And that is because this pot of money was there for us to be able to live and do as we needed. The thing is that what did that look like for us, right? But it could be something as simple as ordering something that we felt that was necessary, but then not informing the other person of it, and then it became a back and forth of who gets to do what, or what gets to be done, or how, you know. And before, when we were doing our general regular budget where we itemized everything, we knew what that was.
Exactly.
And we knew what that was at the beginning of the month. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about where this money was going. Every little dollar.
Yeah.
Every little dollar was accounted for, and we were touching base periodically off of that budget, but there was no question as to
Yeah, you pretty much knew. Like, for example, if you budgeted something for Amazon or whatever, you knew that, you know, oh, I was going to get something from Amazon. I plan on getting something from Amazon. This is the budget for it. It's in this, you know, bucket or whatever.
Correct. Our daughter's expenses for, like, you know, whatever it is she's needing. It was no hesitation. We had already had that itemized for whatever that amount was going to be for the month, and we were fine with it. But we found with unbudgeting,
it was the unknowns, the surprises. You'd be like, wait a minute, well, what happened to this? I thought it was this amount in there. Now it's this amount. What happened? Now I got to go look and say, oh, well, I bought this off of Amazon, or I bought this off of this, and
we went this, or we have visitors, so, you know, we spend a little more, you know, on these things because of people coming to visit or just unexpected. Whereas in the past, we have already would have budgeted and itemized and stuck to that itemized column. The thing is, in our heads, it was like we don't have to think about that anymore.
Exactly.
It kind of bit us in the butt a little bit. This past previous month, it really bit us in the butt because we got comfortable and lax in the fact that we don't have to think about these things. And again, it works better for probably someone who's single.
Yeah, single would be, I don't see any issues at all. That would be a no-brainer almost.
Yeah, and we're being transparent in our relationship and our marriage, and showing this information to you on a video because it was challenging for us. I mean, literally, we sat and we talked about it for quite a while, to the point where, you know, we even had to take a moment, had to take a pause and a beat, a commercial break, if you will, because we were trying to figure out how we got here, right?
Yeah, it just seemed to put us in this habit of spending more faster, because it's almost like you feel like you have this unlimited pot of money that's not going to run out for whatever reason. It just kind of feels like it's never going to run out until it does. And then, you know, when it does, it's gone. It's not like you had, oh, I spent all the food money, I got some other money. No, it's gone. So, yeah, it was definitely
eye-opening.
It was definitely eye-opening. I'm not saying that it can't work for married couples. It just, you're gonna need a lot of communication.
A lot.
A lot more communication than what we've
almost a daily check-in on the financial portion of your marriage, because you don't want things to slip through the crack, and you don't want any surprises. And when something really does happen, or there is a need or necessity that comes up, and seeing what is left could be a shock or a jolt to your mindset, if that's the case. So we are definitely have this month actually gone back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, our no budget. The other thing,
Our regular budget, yeah.
the other thing too is that, you know, when you do that, you don't want this feeling of one person spending more money than the other person.
Oh, because we talk.
Yeah, one person spending all the money.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, we do also have another YouTube channel, and we will be discussing more of that on our other YouTube channel, and that is Black Married Abroad. And that channel focuses on marriage from the being in a relationship on another channel being black. So being a black person living abroad, being a black couple married living abroad, and the things that we experience, and we're willing to share that aspect of our lives as well. But this really taught us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely eye-opening. It got challenging. It can be done. It's not for us. It was just easier to itemize it out, and we had more control and able to see more doing a zero-based budget and
it helps our relationship to be able to communicate and really effectively communicate in this way by saying this is our absolute. And we do sit down and say how much each individual category gets, because we definitely wanted to be fair and honest and open about our feelings with money, because money definitely is an important aspect of marriage. It's not the marriage, but money is definitely an important aspect and can be a very touchy and uncomfortable aspect as well. And the more that we communicate what needs to go where, it gives that semblance of that foundation that we are in control of our marriage. And also there's an aspect, especially from the woman's side of the female side of the equation, feeling a bit of, what do you want to call it? Say probably peace, security in knowing that everything has its place, right? Its bucket.
So what would you say the biggest disadvantage of it was?
The biggest disadvantage of us doing unbudget, the biggest disadvantage to me, I think, was the lack of communication. I think we could have done a better job of communicating the things that we were looking to accomplish from a money perspective each month. What about you?
I think the biggest disadvantage was, I would agree with the communication and just the almost a lackadaisical of spending money, because it was just one pot, and it was one pot with a lot of money in it versus just individual thing. I don't know if it could be psychological with that.
I'm sure there is a psychological. Probably the majority of the component was the psychological, saying, hey, we got this money, to do whatever
you want. Yeah.
And that is true, but for us it's true with that money being split out where it needs to go, so that we have freedom. A lot of people think structure means that you are confined to not be able to do anything, but realistically we're finding in the area of our finances especially that structure allows us freedom, because now at the end of the day, we walk around now and we're like, we know that this is XYZ and this is what we have for XYZ, and there's no question about it. When we have a conversation about it, this is it. We know this is it, and we're okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You okay with it?
Cool beans, yeah.
All right. So if you enjoyed this content,
like, comment, subscribe.
And hit the notification bell to be alerted for our next video.
All right, deuces.
Peace.